Okay. So, look at this matchup. Diana versus Fitz. So you both spike at 6. I don't know a lot about this matchup. You both got teleport. How it goes. So looking at the other lanes, like for Khan, it's pretty safe. Sandra top has an escape, whereas Zaya is jungle. Means you've got to be a little bit careful, but they're still all mostly squishy, apart from Lysandra, who has an invuln and an escape. So you're both melee champs that spike, with their ult, with their bit of engage. If you can hit him with your third auto, you're gonna be doing a lot of damage. If you let him hit you for prolonged amounts of time, then his damage is gonna stack. Let's look at that. Alright. So you see that your jungler is at their third buff. Kaisa just finished with both of your junglers are at their buffs, which means it's time to gank top or mid. So this is probably a good place to have a ward. If you know that their jungler started top, you know that they're either going top or mid. And especially with you being so pushed up, it's a really good idea to have a ward around 2 minutes 15, and you'll get to see when they come down, and this could have been avoided. So at this point, your bot is pushed up. Correct play is, or the top as well. The correct play is to probably go down there before Zaya gets 6, before she has a lot of escape, and try to get your bot to get a kill. You've got a lot of catch potential. You've got your drag into Nami bubble, which can be a little bit hard to execute, but it still works well. Just get some wards on it, so by the time you hit 6, at least ward somewhere, even if you don't plan on roaming. I can understand not wanting to roam pre-6, but you don't want, when you push them into their tower, which you're going to do a lot, you have a lot more AoE damage than Fizz, you want to do something with that. Walking back to your tower is just wasting time. And this is good for you. He's trying to back. Nice job delaying him. I would have probably moved down there a little bit earlier once you saw the pinging. So you're about to hit 6. And I believe he should be behind you. Nope, he's ahead of you. Okay, my bad. That was a good kill. After you get a kill, it's a good idea to clear this wave. You're currently missing a cannon minion, and the wave is just beating up against each other here. So you got a kill, you got some goals, you got some experience, but if you let all of these minions, especially the cannon, die to their tower, then it denies them a lot more than just dying. It also denies them this wave, and lets the wave bounce back to a favorable position when you get back. So you didn't have a lot of mana, just blow it all. It doesn't matter whether you get all of the CS, it matters that you kill the wave as fast as possible so you can get back to lane. And he doesn't get any of that, or so you can back out before you get ganked, and so that they don't get any of the gold. Now that you're ahead, Fizz doesn't have ult. Alright, so right here, you see that their jungler is going up. I think I'm going to back that up and actually walk 4. No, you don't. All right. I'm going to go back to that fight. Or back. Okay, so first, your jungle was traveling this way for a while, which means you can be a lot further forward. The Fizz is running away anyway. Let's go back. So the Fizz is running away. You're not actually going to scare him any more than you already have. And it's right here that I'm talking about, where you walk away, right there. He didn't stop running, so you aren't giving away the gank. You just want to assist your Warwick as much as possible, so he doesn't have to spend any more time under tower. Now you might not have known he was going to dive, but either way, he's coming to your lane very aggressively. You want to be up there to support him as much as you can. Back. Yep. Now from this point you have two options. You're currently ahead at 2-0. Almost finished your first item, so you'll get your first item soon. I don't really agree with that teleport top. Your mid pushing into your tower. Your jungler is bot lane, and your top is dead. So your only hope is to get a 1v1 against an opponent that just has just as many kills as you and more CS. Now, she doesn't have much mana right now, but I think she just used a bunch of it. You've got a 1v1 that's potentially in your favor, but, you know, maybe 45, 60, or 55 odds. And you don't know where their jungle is, who turned out to be right there. Your jungle is bot lane, your mid's taking your tower. There are better uses of your time, especially since they aren't getting close to taking that tower. Okay. Nice ping. You know where they're going. The question is, do you follow? And with everyone so deep and you being ahead, the correct play is to ignore that wave, or take that wave and push the tower. Now, I think following is the better play since you're ahead, and if you were behind, you'd want to take the wave and push the tower since you catch up on farm, and going there might be a death. But in the time that it took you to take that wave, you could have gotten most of the way there. And because you're deliberating about it, you didn't get any damage on the tower. So whichever way you go, you want to commit to it. You either want to push into their tower while they're distracted bot lane, while your mid laner is not in the same lane, or you want to roam with him and try to get there as fast as possible, because you missing a wave and a half of minions is not as important as saving your bot laner and potentially getting a tower down there. I'm not going to talk about that, recall. I do want to talk about vision, because we've got one vision ward on the map, and I'm pretty sure it's from the top laner. Every time you go back, you want to buy 2 vision wards, at least one. One for vision and clearing, and one for taking an objective.
If I don't kill you.
Okay, so here, he's taking back. So you want to start looking. You're currently 3-0 and 1, which is a good score. Your CS is a little behind, but that's not a problem because you're ahead of your laning opponent and you're on par with almost everyone else. Being fed means you get to decide what happens with a lot of the game. So now Warwick is, 7 and 5, but you don't want to just stay mid and back, stay mid and back. You want to do something. So drag is good for you, for assassins. You can't take it, but you can alone. But you and Warwick can easily take it. So you can start pinging towards that, start trying to kill bot lane there. Bot lane, while they are 6, you want to keep track of their ult, because once they ult, you can go bot lane and get some easy kills. Zaya's ult is the only thing that's really stopping you from killing them. So you want to keep track of it. Ask your bot lane to tell you when the Xayah ults, so you can go down, you can kill her, you can take that objective. Now that it's taken, you want to look towards Rift. Or you want to help your... yeah, there isn't much. Now you're 5-0, you're ridiculously fed. So the important thing is not dying and advancing your team's lead. It's important not to just advance your lead. You want to do things when you're fed that help your team win the game. So the most obvious thing is taking towers and roaming for ganks and keeping your mid laner occupied, which means constantly pushing them to the tower, and constantly denying vision. You want to get if you're going to stick with Warding Totem, which is another note, I think you should switch to Oracles when you get level 9. If you're going to stick with Warding Totem, you need to make sure that your vision is down where you can catch the enemy as an assassin. You want to figure out where they're going, and you want to make sure that they don't have any vision of you, which means lots of vision wards and lots of regular wards so you can keep track of their movement. Their Xayah is currently out of position. You're teleporting in. Good.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Now they're preoccupied up there, so yep. You either want to go or farm. I would have ignored that wave if I were you. So it's important to only do one of the two things. You don't clear a wave and then move, because then it's going to be too late. You got that turret because your ADC was there, but if you hadn't have gone and started to move, you would have taken it a lot faster. Even without your ADC, you might have been able to go for more. It's important that you commit to whatever you're doing. So if you're going to clear the wave because your mid is roaming, do that. If you're going to roam because your mid is roaming, do that. Was mostly just a stomp. You should be able to take the next turret off of this. I would have stayed bot if I were you. With all of you there, you should have been easily able to ward up.
Dominating. Blue team double kill. Blue team double kill.
Good. You don't want to overstay, and that's the game. All right. That was pretty much a stomp. Could have used your lead a little bit more if you'd done some things in the meantime or committed to some of your actions. But I mean, mostly you just stomped the fizz, and you did good by moving into the other lanes, keeping track of the map, teleporting. And I mean, at the end, they surrendered. It would have been a more interesting game, seeing how you took that lead to actually end the game. But yeah, if you have any questions.